Okay, this is my cool lucid dream experience, which was yesterday. Is it Friday? Yeah, man. My days are confused, but yeah, it was yesterday morning because I woke up at like 7:30 and then I went back to sleep finally, I think after 9 or something like that. But then I got this experience and it seemed like it lasted hours and hours and hours and hours. These lucid dreams are awesome. They're virtual reality. Most of my lucid dreams are virtual reality, but this was not a virtual reality experience. This was a lucid dream. But the difference between lucid dreams and boring dreams is that lucid dreams like stay with you too. Like you'll wake up, like when I woke up, I still felt like I was in that dimension, so to speak. And then even throughout the day, little bits and pieces, like I'll start, you know, it's like I'll seep back into that dimension or something, and I'll start feeling like I'm back in the dream or something. The energy of the dream will like stay with me. These, I don't know how the aliens do it, but it's really cool. But this was more like a virtual reality lucid dream. But yeah, I mean, some of these lucid dreams, they'll just stay with you, I mean, all day long. Yeah, it's total blast. But anyway, I did actually, come to think of it, I did tell them, I was like several days ago, I was like, are you going to give me, you know, virtual reality experience, out-of-body experience or whatever, or lucid dream? And I did say something like, stick me back in a mansion, but that was like several days ago, and it's like, well, they answered me and stuck me back in a mansion. That was probably at least a week and a half ago. They've stuck me in mansions many times, but anyway, so basically it started off with me and my mom just walking back and forth. I mean, just for hours and hours and hours in this big ass mansion. This mansion was 10 times bigger than this one. And the aliens created a whole scenario for me, and it seemed like it was only 2 levels. It seemed like it was only 2 levels. Well, actually 2 levels, and then of course there was a basement. So that would be like 3 levels, I guess. But you know, each level, I mean, was freaking. You know, the ceilings were a mile high, so to speak. The ceilings were super high. You know what I'm saying? But it did seem like it was just 2 levels, except there was a basement. I mean, huge basement. So that would be like 3 levels. So anyway, the aliens, if you're enlightened at all and attuned to your aliens, you'll know that they're creating all these awesome sleep state experiences for you, and they take, they'll throw their own unique stuff in them as well, but you know, 80 to 90%. They'll take all these little bits and details that was previously on your brain and throw it. Or they'll go back many years too, and they'll throw it in your experiences. So like, but it started off, me and my mom, we were just walking back and forth in this freaking mansion. And it was eerie, you know what I'm saying? It was deserted. It was abandoned, so to speak. the family, the Plasters, they were all dead now, and somehow, you know, the mansion was pretty much vacant now. So anyway, at one point, me and my mom were standing there in front of the door outside the mansion, and to the left was a sign, you know, like a wood sign or whatever, plaque, and it said, like, you know, the Plasters. The husband was like Bob E. Plaster, something like that, like Bob E. Plaster, and he had 2 daughters, and then the wife. I can't remember what the wife's name was, but it was all inscripted, you know, on the little sign to the left of the door or whatever. And these Plasters, that was their last name. They own some kind of high advanced technology. I don't know, like electronics company of some sort. Technology, electronics, top of the line stuff. And see, the aliens, they get all this because the Plasters, there's this guy that gave money to the college in real life, and his last name is Plaster, so they named him Plasters. They named it Plaster Stadium. So see, they got that from my brain and everything. And of course, my uncle, they've owned an electronics company since 1948 or 47, something like that, and it's still in business. And okay, so anyway, and like I say, and I had thoughts. I had thoughts of now the husband already died off, but I had thoughts like that, you know, that he maybe killed the wife. I had thoughts like that, like he probably killed the wife and maybe the daughters too. So like the aliens gave me all these weird thoughts, you know what I mean? And but anyway, I know that the husband, he died of just old age, and so I guess there was just nobody else to come in and, you know, take care of the mansion. But anyway, so like I say, I just had thoughts of that's maybe what happened. Somehow I knew he wasn't a very nice guy, you know, the owner of the mansion, the husband. And so anyway, and for some reason I sensed that he had kind of like short, dark hair, but they didn't actually show me the owner, you know, the owner, you know, like a picture or whatever on the wall. They didn't show me all that. But anyway, so me and my mom, we walked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, in this mansion for hours and hours and hours and hours. And now, I went upstairs many times, but I don't actually remember, you know, I popped upstairs. I don't actually remember walking up stairs or anything. At one point, I was in the main bedroom, one of the main bedroom. What do you call it? You know, I forgot what you call it. The main bedroom. That the wife and the husband stayed in, and it was freaking huge. And they even left, he left a Rolex on his dresser, but the Rolex was damaged. And when I went back downstairs, you know, I was like, when I was walking back and forth in the mansion, you know, with me and my mom, you know, I was telling her, you know, that he even left, like, there wasn't much in the mansion at all. I mean, it was pretty much empty, except just a couple things here and there. But he left a Rolex, and I remember telling my mom, you know, that he left a Rolex, and I don't know, but I guess that's why he left it or whatever, because it was damaged. Man, I don't know why the aliens didn't make me, like, steal it, because lots of times they do make me steal stuff. I mean, that Rolex still would have been worth money, even if it was damaged, because you could fix it, you know what I mean? But that was, I don't know why. No, actually, I do know why they put that in there. I do know why they put that in there, was because this guy at the bookstore, he's always coming in with fake Rolexes that he buys at the Goodwill store. So that's why they put that in this lucid dream. And they also put acetone in this lucid dream, this experience. Because I did just have that on the brain too. I was talking to somebody, what was I saying? Something, oh yeah. I was looking to buy like a pool for my new turtle or whatever, and somebody said that it smelled like freaking acetone, because normally when anything you buy, you know, it's like freaking rank with freaking chemicals. Especially if it's like rubber, vinyl, blah, 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 blah. So now I always like ask questions like, is this freaking smell like ass or, you know, like chemicals or whatever? Sure enough, well, most people are dumbed down and in a trance. So most people are going to say, it kind of had a small smell. But then you'll get a couple people that actually said, oh, this smelled like freaking a toxic waste dump. Now, those were the enlightened ones, you know, on Amazon. So I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to buy it. But there's this big pool the plastic pool that I'm going to get my turtle, because he's in like a 50-gallon, but, well, it's not really 50 gallons, probably 35 or 40 because it's kind of cracked. But anyway, they have a much bigger one at Walmart. I'm probably going to go get that. It's not going to fit on in my car, so I'm probably just going to stick it on top of my car and tie it. And I need to hurry up and go get it because they may not, once those are gone, they may not get any more in. I don't know. And you can tell they're probably not going to make those very much longer, because they're coming out with these stupid toxic ones where you just fold them. They can just, be folded up, and then when you get them, you just put water in them and they spread out. Because if you make stuff that's already big, huge, and round like that, it takes up room, in the store or whatever. But they have a few left up here at Walmart. I'm probably going to go get it tomorrow, because I want him in, my new turtle, I want him in bigger space, a bigger pool. But anyway, so that's why they put acetone, the aliens put acetone in this experience. And like I say, the difference between a lucid dream and just a regular dream, regular dreams, it's like you don't even, it's just all black, and you know what I'm saying, you don't even smell anything, you don't taste anything. But I rarely get just boring dreams, rarely. I mean, most of mine are lucid dream to above that. I mean, rarely do I get dreams. Boring ass dreams. But anyway, so anyway, at one point when I was walking around, okay, many times when I have these experiences, the aliens had already told me that I've been there many times before. Like when I was in this experience, I already knew that I've been in this mansion before, like without my mom, by myself. And I knew down in the basement there was a big toy room for their daughter, and she had left all of her toys. And I was trying to tell my mom, we need to go down in the basement because I want to show you this big old closet that's down there full of toys. And I sensed that there was still going to probably be a lot of the toys and dolls and stuff in there. And but we never did. We never did make it down there. But like I say, the aliens have also put me in houses, and then I would for some reason I was drawn to the basement because I knew there was cool stuff down there. And it's like the basement would be just freaking huge, like freaking five football fields. But this mansion they stuck me in was like probably 10 times bigger than this. And so anyway, so then, okay, now, but we were by ourselves. Me and Mom were by ourselves. And then at one point, I was up on the second level again, and I went off into a little room that kind of led into the attic. And I saw my stepdad standing there, and he was about to take, it just kind of looked like half a dresser. He was about to take that, and I remember thinking in my head, well, he's not supposed to be taking anything out of the house, So anyway, okay, and then another part of the experience, which didn't really make sense because we were supposed to be alone. Me and Mom were like all alone, or at least I thought we were for a while, as we were just walking back in this huge mansion. And over to my left, at one point on the first level, over to my left, there was this huge kitchen, and I mean, there was probably at least 20 female chefs in it. And they were cooking and stuff, cutting things up. And this kitchen was probably 3 times bigger than my freaking house. It was huge. And I specifically, when I went to the kitchen, I looked over to my right. And I was looking down on what do you call it? Not cabinet, the little metal table where the this woman chef was cutting like these pieces of meat up, and I was just looking at it, but it didn't even look like, it just looked like fake imitation meat or something. It was gross. It was really, really gross looking. Which that part didn't really make sense, because I thought, you know, it was this mansion was abandoned, so it did, you know, some of these lucid dreams kind of, they have parts that don't really make sense, because I mean, there was nobody living in this mansion, so why would there be a big old kitchen, you know, with 20 female chefs, you know, cutting up all this meat and stuff. It was really, but the meat was really grotesque looking. I mean, it didn't look like meat. It just looked like fake imitation, like pieces of pink chicken or something. It was really weird. And so anyway, but like I said, that part didn't make sense. Okay, anyway, so several parts, at least 5 to 6 times, when we were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, there was a certain spot, and it was mainly, it seemed like it was apparently that's what it's called, the master bedroom. The master bedroom was kind of in the middle area of the second level, and each time me and my mom were walking around, or I was walking around by myself sometimes, because my mom was in other parts of the mansion, but each time I would come to that little middle part of the first floor of the mansion, apparently the master bedroom was kind of above, you know, it was above on the second level, directly above. And when I would come walking into that area, I would smell the strong smell of acetone, and it smelled exactly like what acetone smells like, exactly like what, you know, fingernail polish remover smells like, except in this experience it was stronger. It smelled a little stronger than normal, you know, normal fingernail polish remover. And like I say, this happened 5 to 6 times, and somehow the aliens programmed me to already know that leak, that acetone leak, was coming from that bedroom area. It was coming from the master bedroom area. It was coming from some part, some line or whatever from that master bedroom area. That's where the leak was coming from. And every time I would finally walk back, you know, on the first level, and I would get to that middle point of the whole floor, and then boom, I would smell that smell again, the acetone smell. And like I say, I smelled the acetone smell at least 5 to 6 times as I was, you know, in the master bedroom. I smelled it a couple times, and then, you know, when I would be on the first level, that middle point of the floor, because apparently the master bedroom, you know, was above, right, directly above, and somehow I knew the leak was coming from that master bedroom, and I was trying to tell my mom that and everything, and I was like thinking, you know, that's probably why, you know, they had to get the hell out of this mansion too, was because it was toxic. And for some reason, somehow, okay, I'll pretty much get to the last part. The last part was, me and Mom was on the first level, and near the front door, and over to the right, near the front door, to the right of the front door, and to the right of where we were standing, was a control panel. And I think I know where the aliens got this from. They got this from when I played Resident Evil. I think I do remember these big, huge knobs, like, you know, on the, it was like some kind of control panel. But anyway, I cannot find an exact picture. But yeah, there was like levers. Oh, I forgot to put a little lever in here. But anyway, there were like levers over, there was like these big, huge control panels, like knobs that came out of the wall, extended out about a foot or 10 inches. There was like at least 12, just boom, 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 12. And there were like 3 or 4 levers, you know, levers. And anyway, it was like, I was telling my mom, you know, why can't they somehow shut off that gas leak, the acetone gas leak? But apparently, the aliens already programmed me to like think all of this, you know. Apparently, so anyway, yeah. So me and my mom were standing there at the control panel on the wall, right there by the right of the entrance or exit out the door to the mansion, and there was all these huge like knobs. 12, 13 knobs lined up in like 3 to 4 rows. and these knobs that were coming out of the wall. And yeah, they were different colors. I forgot to mention that. And like I say, I'm pretty sure I saw the same type of thing in Resident Evil when I played Resident Evil back in 2012 or 13 or whatever. I played at least 3 of them. I need to get a couple more of them. But anyway, yeah, and so the knobs, they were like as big as like a cantaloupe. But I couldn't find anything on the internet quite like that. But I think that's where the aliens got that from, my brain. And anyway, and it had a couple, at least 2 to 3 levers over to my right. It seemed like one of them was yellow, but the levers were like about a foot long, horizontal, and you just like, you know, raised it down or up or whatever. And there was at least 3 levers over to my right, to the side of, over to the right, to the side of the big knobs. And like I say, the aliens already somehow programmed me that, you know, this guy, he got rich by, you know, owning this electronic technology company or whatever, and it was totally the most advanced, top of the line shit. And for some reason, they hadn't perfected on how to fix things if things went wrong. So basically, I guess it was, you know, the whole air conditioning system and the heating system had this, you know, technology, or it was top of the line heating and air conditioning system. And like I say, it somehow was giving off the acetone gas smell. And I don't know if, I guess acetone could be a gas. I mean, I guess if the fumes coming off of it, I guess that could be a gas. I don't know, because I'm not a chemist, but that's just how the aliens program, you know, this experience. But yeah, well, this stuff right here, and that thing is probably a lot stronger stuff than the stuff that you get for your nails. But in the experience, yeah, man, this acetone smell, I mean, it was strong. And it's amazing what the aliens can do. And I smelled it, like I say, about 2 to 3 times in the master bedroom. And then when I was walking, every time I would walk down the floor, and the first level, I'd be walking back and forth, which was super long, of course. And right when I would get to that middle part of the first floor, it's like I would smell the fumes coming down from the top master bedroom floor. And like I say, the aliens already programmed all that in my brain. But anyway, so when me and my mom was standing there at the control panel, and like I say, the door, the big doors out of the mansion, you know, was just right there to my left. And this control panel was just to the right. And me and mom were inside the door. And, you know, it's still inside the mansion. And I can't remember if I actually verbally told her all this, or if I just had it in my head that I already knew all this. I think I just had it in my head that I already knew all this. And I don't think I verbalized it to her, but anyway, somehow I knew that the system could not be fixed. They could not fix that gas leak, the acetone gas leak, because, like I say, they had on top of the line system in their home, this the heating and air conditioning system, and it fouled up, and so it had this acetone gas leak. And it could not be fixed because they hadn't perfected that yet on how to fix things if shit went wrong. And things did go wrong, and that's probably one of the reasons why he had to get out of the mansion. But he had died of natural causes once he got out of once he left that mansion. But anyway, the aliens already programmed me to think that he probably killed his daughters and the wife. But and I know they delved in my brain, and I know what they went by too. For those thoughts, they went by back when I cleaned house for this one woman in real life. They adopted this daughter, and anyway, it's like I think they just adopted her just because that was just the thing to do. You know what I mean? But I remember the father being kind of mean and yelling at her. You know. But anyway, I know that's where they got those thoughts from my brain, and that went back 20 years, actually. But actually, I didn't talk about this one experience I had where the aliens, they actually went back to when I was like 5 years old. Because like I say, normally they do just take, because aliens, they can be kind of lazy. They'll just take the most recent shit, you know, from your brain, like going back 7 days. They like to take the most recent stuff for the most part and throw it in your experiences. And they already know that I know that. So sometimes they like to prove me wrong, and they like to, you know, sometimes they will go back to like when I was 5 years old, and they'll throw some shit from when I was like 5 years old into an experience. I haven't talked about that one yet, but I've already, I can make that into like a 5-minute video. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, I mean, it was just, and two, you know, the aliens could alter the energy big time in these experiences. Like, they could just make it feel like nothing. They can make it feel like when they take me to Romania, well, that was more virtual reality experience. When they took me to Romania, the one to Russia, that was more lucid dreamy. That was virtual reality, but more of a lucid dream. They can alter the energy. I mean, they made it literally feel like Russia. And I've never been to Russia. I've never been to Romania. And it totally felt like Romania. It did not feel like United States. It felt like Romania. And this experience, they didn't actually tell me what town I was in. Like I say, maybe they were just being lazy, but they didn't tell me. I have no idea. I felt like I was totally in some foreign town that I've never been to before. Foreign, I mean, not outside the United States, but a town that I've never been to before. And like I said, they didn't really tell me that, what town I was in, but the whole energy was a little bit on the eerie side, you know, because it was an abandoned mansion, you know, and smelling the damn acetone, I just was kind of scared. I kind of had some fear, I guess you could say. Not hardcore fear, but kind of some fear whenever I would smell that smell. You know, because it was like, ugh. Well, see, the aliens, they know that I have this thing with chemicals now, and I don't like to be around any freaking chemicals whatsoever. Like, people are dumbed down, and I was once there, too. I was once fucking dumbed down and fucking had a fucking thing just like this, a paint thinner under my freaking, back in Kansas City, my studio apartment, 16, 17 years ago. And see, how old was I? 30, 15 years ago, well, yeah, 16 or 17 years ago, I had a thing of paint thinner in the can, you know, the can just like this, toxic freaking shit, under my kitchen. Now, it wasn't leaking or anything. I always made sure of that, and I normally, I would always put it in like a Walmart bag or whatever. At least I was still dumbed down, but not that dumbed down, but, back then. But, yeah, I had this thing of freaking paint thinner, metal, just like that, under my kitchen sink. My kitchen was very, very small because I lived in a studio back then. But, I mean, I was once dumbed down, you know what I'm saying, too. But now I don't have any freaking chemicals in my house or my garage. I don't have gas. Because, you know, if you have a gas thing laying around for your lawnmower, I mean, that shit smells. And then when it gets real humid, you know, you have to go out there in your garage and smell that gas, and it's so fucking nasty. I mean, it's sad that people are dumbed down, and they literally think, they're so dumbed down and in a trance that they don't realize, you know, how harmful that is to stick your hand in gasoline or oil or whatever. But like I said, I was once dumbed down too, so can't get on to them. But yeah, and I can't remember why I bought that acetone, I mean that paint thinner back then. I think because I was messing around with oil paints for some reason, and I don't even think it was a project I was going to do, and I never did it, but I ended up just throwing it in the trash a few years later. Yeah, like, I'm sure that's real healthy for the water supply. But, yeah, but I don't have any chemicals in my house now at all. I mean, all I have is, like, shampoo. You know, I clean my toilets with shampoo. And actually, that laundry detergent that I have, I realize now I'm not going to ever buy that laundry detergent again, ever, either. I'm going to buy the more natural stuff. Walmart may have some. I don't know. I may have to go to one of the health food stores, but I'm not buying that shit again. I mean, it smells really, really good. And you can buy it. It's called like Sun or something like that, but you can buy it really cheap, and you get a lot of it. And it doesn't seem too toxic or anything. But if you don't have gloves on and you kind of stick your hands in the washer and kind of rub the, and I normally only put about, 3/4 of a cup or 2/3 of a cup of liquid laundry detergent in my washer, but when you stick your hand in there and then you start smelling your hand, I mean, you can tell there's got to be some major chemicals in there for your hand to be smelling like that, and it's hard to get that smell off. So I'm thinking, okay, this shit is more toxic than well, first of all, I probably shouldn't be putting my hand, I should have probably, have a glove on or whatever, but I'm not going to buy it anymore. I'm going to buy that more natural stuff that the grocery store may have too in their natural section. But yeah, I just try to get rid of all, especially shit like that I'll never have in my house. Paint thinner, gas. I just use a Rill, and if I ever got a bigger house with a bigger yard, I would just hire somebody probably to do my yard, but I would make sure that, I'd tell them, make sure they don't spray chemicals and shit on the grass. But yeah, I don't know if I'd really trust that at all. So I'd probably have to, I don't know, just hire somebody that I really trusted for sure. But my yard's little, so I can handle it myself, at least now. But, so yeah, so anyway, so after all that control panel stuff, and somehow, I already knew that the system could not be fixed. That gas leak, the acetone gas leak could not be fixed. Because they hadn't perfected that technology of this high-tech, air conditioning heating system. And it's like I say, somehow the aliens already programmed my brain to think all that. So the last part of the experience was basically I was standing outside, me, my mom, and there was like 2 guys, 3 women, and I can't remember who they were or anything, but it seemed like my sister could have been standing there. But, I mean, there were several freaking people standing there, and I guess we were just about to go home or whatever, and it's like I looked up, I can't remember what it was exactly, if it was like, I can't remember if it was, I looked up at a picture, but I was outside, it couldn't have been on a wall or anything, but like I say, this part, I can't remember, but all I know is, I was standing there, and I told myself, I was like, wow, in my head, I was like, wow, that kind of looks like a gray alien. But like I say, I can't remember if it's just something that the alien just kind of threw in there in midair. But it seemed like I was looking at something. I don't know what it was, like part of a tree or something, and I saw like a little gray alien face, and this isn't the first time they've thrown their faces in my experiences, the reptilians and the grays. But I didn't, as far as I remember, I didn't say that out loud. I just said it to myself. And, because the aliens, they know that I'm always seeing their little faces everywhere and their little imprints everywhere. And yeah, so, and so I saw the little gray alien face. And so that's why, I'm thinking a gray, probably as well as a reptilian, created this experience for me. I have no doubt sometimes like they both are sitting there programming my brain for this awesome lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences and virtual reality experiences, but I can tell all the differences later in another video. But dang, what else was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot. But anyway, yeah, so I have no doubt it was probably both of them that programmed this experience for me. And there's something else I was going to say and I forgot. Yeah. That's part of the cyborg program because they already told me they're gray. This was a gray boss that already told me they were, making a lot of people into cyborgs, so to speak, by taking their spirit body out and then sticking it back in their body. Well, they do that too, but when they created this lucid dream, they didn't necessarily do that. They create my dreams and experiences in a plethora of ways. But anyway, so the very last part of the experience, well, I don't know why this was kind of thrown in there, but anyway, so I left all those people that was standing outside the mansion, and then it's like I'm way over to, like the mansion is facing this way, but I'm turned to the left, and there's this big old pond over to the left or a small little lake. And I remember seeing some ducks or geese. And then the aliens, they threw this this person that I know in the experience, and that this part was kind of sexual, but I'm going to edit that part out. It's a person I knew and everything, but I'm going to edit that part out. Edit. But yeah, I mean, like sometimes when I ask them, are you going to come give me a virtual reality experience or whatever, most of the time I'll just leave it like that. But sometimes I'll be like, it could be sexual or non-sexual, because I know Joel, he always likes to put sex in it, all my experiences. And I did actually say, you know, it could be sexual or non-sexual, but like I say, that's the only sexual part they put in this experience. But it wasn't really sexual, it was more like romantic. And but I'm going to edit that part out because, you know, they go off my brain who I've seen or know or whatever. So this person, like, I know. And it was just kind of, I don't know, kind of weird, you know. But yeah, so I'll edit that part out. But anyway, we're standing out there walking along, but like I say, he wasn't in the experience at all until this last part. They threw him in the scenario for some reason, and we're walking along, and then we kind of did some like romance type of things. But I'm editing that part out. Edit. And then what else was I gonna say? I think that's it. And like I say, see, a lot of times, lucid dreams, some can be very non-haphazard, and sometimes they can be kind of choppy and haphazard. But this one was a little bit like that. Not as bad as some others I've had or whatever, but some of them aren't. Some of my lucid dreams aren't haphazard at all. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was just creepy to be walking around, and I kept smelling at least 5 to 6 times. Kept smelling that big, strong acetone smell. Like I say, the aliens, they can make you smell things. They can make you taste things. They make me eat cheese before, which was awesome, because they know I like cheese. But anyway, yeah, most all these little bits and pieces, they already, you know, they got from my brain, my reality, and threw it all in these, you know, experiences. But sometimes they do put their own unique stuff in them. Thanks for listening. Yeah, and just don't be dumbed down, and don't be having paint thinner under your sink. And don't be sticking your hand in gasoline or paint thinner or oil from your car or whatever, because I guarantee you chemicals aren't good for you. But thank you, aliens, for dumbing me up and not down. Well, actually smarten me up and not dumbing me down. Thanks for listening.